Hello everyone, this is Cody from server 73, and in this video we are making a new tier list. At the moment we don't have IBL 73 with caps, so we were IBL winners. KVK season is done and it's going to take a while until some new good powerful events will arrive. So we have to make something interesting. I think a tier list for immortals and for skills is pretty good. That is what we're going to focus on. We're starting with some Mage DPS immortals. We will rate them from S to D tier. We will do this with support, we'll do this with tanks, frontliner attacks, back row damage dealers, physical damage, and with skills. So next week is going to be skills probably. I think this is going to be interesting because we have some changes and skills are always like changing. We will also include legendary ones, but let's just start small with the tier list of magic DPS. So who do we have? We have Baldwin, Cleopatra, Himiko, Loki, Merlin and Vu. This is our tier list from the magic DPS. We will just start with SD and there's only one choice. It can just be Himiko. She's the she's the best magic immortal in the whole game. Her ultimate skill is super powerful just to take out someone in the backline, and when you have it with battle stance combined, it's pretty awesome. So Loki, I was thinking about, he was super powerful in the beginning, but I don't know what they did with him, but he's not doing any damage anymore. And the confuses are good for a second march versus a second march, but not versus a main march. Obviously not versus mix, because the front line is most likely immune. So he's going to be just when you need, for example, 5 element boost. I'm using him on my earth in my second march, but I'm not that happy with the choice, but it's fine because I want the 5 element bonus. So I will rate him on A tier. And now, since we don't have them, we will rate the rest regarding some IBL and some PvP situations. Both of them are also powerful in PvE versus gnomes versus infernal assaults, so this is your choice. Plus Vu maybe when you go for infernal assaults and you still need gold, or you're farming gnomes, for example. So we'll start with Baldwin. Baldwin is, I don't want to put him in D tier because he can be useful in open arena. As we saw in the last season, he was very powerful in the open arena builds, did like 40 million damage, and he instantly was regenerating his energy bar. So when we can just do something like that in normal PvP situations, it would be awesome, but I think that is just just a dream that will never come true. So he's also not useful in any IBL setup. He's not useful in PvE. He's just very expensive and extremely difficult to get, because you can just get it from the $100 packs and from the market, and he rarely appears. I'm not speaking about the random throwing red stones in the in the jungle and then hope that there's someone popping out. I'm just speaking about the possibility where you can really find him when you search it. So he's going to be C tier. Cleopatra, in my opinion, is super trash, D tier. She doesn't do any damage. There was a time where mixed Cleopatra was pretty okay versus mixed, but I think this is now almost 1 year ago. You don't use her in IBL setups either, so that makes her D tier. She's not useful for rifts, she's not useful for spiders, she's not useful for gnomes, she's not useful for infernal assaults, so the PvE sections, she doesn't find a spot. honestly. So yeah, this is going to be my choice. D is, she has to be below D actually, but yeah, but this is okay. Merlin in my opinion is B. He's pretty solid. For main, water is still okay, but no one is playing water at the moment anymore. It's not even, I mean, I can't imagine anyone using main water anymore. Um, the game is just too long online to just use still water. In IBL he's very powerful and useful for the early stages and the, yeah, like in the road to the finals. He's not going to be used anymore, but in the beginning he's very useful in IBL. You can test him in um, in PvE, but you don't want to use full water. You rather use Earth as a PvE setup, so it's not a choice. Vu, A tier. She's a super good damage dealer in normal fire with Cyrus when you don't have the powerful setup for Sion. She's the one who's doing a lot of damage together with Cyrus, and not together with Cyrus, but Cyrus is a big help for her to deal some damage. You can also test other um, some other dragon talents with her, and she's very powerful during the whole IBL season. So I really like her. Her crit damage is pretty overpowered. Chase is doing a lot of damage on her. So A tier is 100%, yeah, right spot. Also in IBL, during the whole season she was useful more or less. In the end, you always swap to Xeon because versus physical damage you only have Oaken Guard and Defense Blessing. Defense Blessing is just a wasted spot, but Oaken Guard is the only thing that can yeah, help versus physical damage, and versus magic damage you have Resist, you have Jade Barrier and stuff like this. So you have like just a couple of more options to resist or to reduce the magical damage. But still, she's in the early stages very helpful, very powerful. This, in the end, that's it for the Mage DPS tiers. I will continue next week with some others. Stay tuned and check it out. Maybe you have some different point of view. Let me know. Will be interesting next week for the skills. Thank you for watching and see you next week.